What's up, everyone? So we are going to get back to the Hawaii vlog, so stay tuned for that eventually. But we thought we would do something a little bit different this week for this week's vlog. We have our friends Laura and Cody from Tale of Two Smittys. You may have heard of them. If not, we're going to link them below so you can check out their channel. And we'll be appearing on their channel later. Scott will tell you a bit about that. But it's their first year of bus life, and we thought we would dive in and ask them some questions.
Yeah, so as you guys know, our current housing situation is Hotel de Hive is officially closed.
Out of business.
So we actually have them parked right here at Heyday, and we thought this would be a great time to ask them some questions of what life is like on the road, and we're going to do it in a fun way, so stay tuned.
Oh, this is everything. With you right next to me, so alive, and tonight I'm thinking that I don't wanna go. This is everything. With you right next to me, so alive, and tonight I'm thinking that I don't wanna go.
Okay, so guys, meet Cody and Laura and Raleigh. Raleigh's down here.
Raleigh girl in Raleigh.
Oh, you.
The star of the show.
That was perfect, Raleigh.
So these guys are Tale of Two Smittys. You can find them on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn.
Are you on Twitter? No.
Not on Twitter.
All
Or
the
LinkedIn.
socials.
TikTok though. TikTok. They teach you how to close bus windows on TikTok, and it was like pretty insightful.
So what we're going to do today is we're going to do kind of like a newlywed game, and this is going to be a two-part series. They're going to be part one, and then over on their channel on YouTube, we'll be doing part two. So we have some questions for those guys. They have some for us. And basically, we're going to ask them all about their year on the road and how we can just glean and learn from them in a fun way.
They just hit the road at the end of last year, so it's been like their first full year on the road. So we have lots of insight to take from the wizards and the gurus and all that stuff. Right. And so we are going to do like newlywed style, but first we're going to ask two questions that wouldn't be newlywed style because they both know the answers to these. Okay, so what the people want to know is what do you guys do for work?
Great question. I'm going to let Cody start because he got the job first.
So I work for a company in Texas, mainly in Texas, called Allied Outdoor Solutions. We do backyard remodels, outdoor living spaces is really everything from pool builds all the way down to hardscapes. And so I used to be an in-person sales consultant for them. Now I do Zoom calls. So before we send a consultant out, I meet with our clients on the Zoom, make sure there's a good fit there.
So I actually also work for Allied, and I do 3D graphic rendering. So I recreate someone's home, but then make it way more beautiful and way more fun with a cool pool or a kitchen, stuff like that. It's really great. My job doesn't require a ton of internet, so when we're in the middle of nowhere, our hotspot is plenty of internet. Cody needs a little bit more, so sometimes that keeps us a little closer to cities. But it's been a great setup, and we love being able to do all of this while still being able to afford doing all of this by working. So it's been a great fit.
And I think that's so good to know because I think there's a lot of questions out there that people ask, like, how do you work on the road? And I think...
Or do you even work?
Do you
what
even
do
work?
You do?
Yeah.
A lot of people assume that.
And I think the great thing about you guys is it's crazy to think that you work for a landscaping company on the road.
That's
right.
That's right.
Those are the things that you just wouldn't put together, but especially now, there's so many jobs that you can do and travel.
If I could say one other thing, I think a lot of people assume that, oh, you're so lucky that you have a remote job. It took us 18 months to find remote work. We bought a bus without a definitive plan. I mean, we were prepared to walk away from our jobs if we had to. And actually, Laura did walk away from her job and then found this job. So, if you're in that spot where you're like, how do people make money? What am I going to do? It's not easy, but there are answers, especially these days. So.
That's so good.
Okay, question 2. What the people want to know. Where do you guys stay? How do you find where you stay? All that stuff.
That's a really good question. Great question. Common question. We stay all kinds of places. Public lands, also known as BLM land, Bureau of Land Management.
Yep.
We forest. Do, which is a lot of national forest parking. So outside of national parks is especially where you're typically able to find those places. We do use Harvest Host, which has saved us on the East Coast. East Coast, it's true, is harder to find free places to park. Very rarely we do campsites, but typically it's free public land.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple apps out there. iOverlander, Campendium, Seeker is probably one of the best. Used to be called the Van Life app. But yeah, we went the first 7 months of straight travel. I think we paid for 3 nights of a camp spot. So
That's wild.
free
awesome.
camping is our thing. So
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, let's jump into the newlywed questions. Let's see how they do.
So here's what's going to happen. They're both going to write the answers. The question's going to be mainly directed at one, and they have to guess what the other person is going to say as their answer.
Okay, so Laura, what is one thing you would change about your bus?
And then
And
Cody.
then Cody's got to try and guess what Laura would change. What does she always complain about? Man?
I'm going to need more pages.
a few more pieces of paper.
Raleigh, what would you change about your bus?
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so
Looks like Laura's drawing pictures of it. It's that 3D rendering coming through.
Okay.
Yeah, so in truth, there are a handful of things that I thought she could change. And until we painted the bus, it was definitely paint the bus.
Okay.
She hated it. She was so
100%.
mad. I didn't care at all. I thought it looked cool. But
Yeah.
I would say, I'm not sure she's going to say this, but I think it is probably the biggest thing. Maybe we've just come to
so
grips
I'm
with
so
it.
nervous too.
But our under-the-bed storage did not work out very well, and I think she would wish that we had easier access to the under-bed storage.
Ah.
That is true. And I almost said that.
Oh.
But I didn't. I said the interior light.
Lights,
Oh, and
interior
she
lights,
did
yeah.
draw a picture.
Our kitchen lights work awesome.
Yeah.
They're on Amazon. They're great lights. We bought a second batch, but we wanted to be able to change the colors because we were told that red lights don't attract bugs as much.
Yeah.
These are just white, and those are garbage. And
They're terrible.
We've had problems with them. So
Really?
yeah.
I think generally having switches.
Yeah.
So that's why I
Oh, I
was
see. Okay.
hardizing all your
Yeah.
switches.
Fair enough.
Having switches just turn on the lights would be awesome, but we didn't change our ceiling, so we're limited in that.
Okay.
There you
So-
Had a
go.
rave and he
Underbed
was the
storage
other night.
lights.
So we might get rid of them.
Good things to know.
Okay. Favorite place that you've been to, from Cody's perspective. Favorite place that you've ever been to. Okay, ready? Laura, reveal.
Crater Lake in Oregon, 100%.
Ready? Ding, 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 ding.
So it was mainly 2 things. One is that Crater Lake itself is beautiful. It's the bluest water. If you don't know about Crater Lake, there's no inlets or rivers. It's just melted snow and rain. It's a
Really?
collapsed volcano, so it's super clear water. There's no silt and dirt coming in. Second is we found a really great camp spot, like 15 minutes from the park entrance, and we were there for a week, and it was just great. We had just enough internet to work, and it was just awesome. So the combination of a cool place and easy to stay nearby
Yeah.
is hard to find.
It was very unexpected. It was kind
Yeah.
of like we're kind of close to a national park. Let's just go check it off the list.
Yeah.
And
So the surprise element.
oh, it's just
Yeah.
like I'm kind of getting
That's awesome.
goosebumps. It was just
Yeah.
it was just beautiful. Like when you see something so beautiful, it's
Yeah.
kind of like you
Yeah.
just can't shake that feeling. But
Yep.
also deepest point, right? Deepest lake in North America?
It is now.
It is
Yeah.
now. You heard it
Fact
here
check.
first.
It
There's
is.
something about
It
that
definitely
that's true.
is.
Yeah, I don't know if it's... Well, yeah.
Visibility
That's-
too is crazy.
Next question.
Seriously.
This one, Laura, is for you. Cody, you gotta try and guess it, okay?
That one.
What's the most difficult thing about bus life? Okay, here we go. Answer time. Cody, what do you think she put?
So I put this in, said it in 2 ways. Trying to stay in one place and avoid moving around so often.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Mm.
I like the way that's worded.
Finding time to work and travel.
Okay.
So
They-
I
those
think-
Stem
two
from
go
the same
together.
place.
Yeah, very, very similar.
Judges?
A little
Yeah,
bit.
no,
I'll give you
we'll
that.
allow it. We allow it.
Nigel?
Yeah.
Nigel will give it to you.
Nigel, love, can you get the lights?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the balance of work and travel, staying in one place, avoiding traveling too often.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
What is your favorite part about your bus?
Favorite part about the bus?
The, the oversized
generally?
TV in the bed that blinds us at night.
Oh, she's pawing. She's like, come on, come back.
Yeah, she doesn't like you stopping.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
Laura, your answer is...
I said the paint job.
Ooh.
paint job.
Yeah.
The paint job! Yes!
Guys,
So I
their
said
paint
color,
job is
but
epic. Like, so good. Scott and I, when we saw it in real life, we were like, like, it looks amazing in photos, but then in real life, it looks gorgeous. It looks so good.
Yeah,
I
no,
agree.
we lucked out.
That's one of my favorites, too.
We might have to repaint Honey.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Stop
We
it.
weren't.
You
No.
were inspiration.
Yeah.
No
if you haven't
Liza?
seen it yet, their paint video saved us
So
a
helpful.
lot of time and a lot of money.
I'm glad it could serve as, like, helpful to someone, for sure. Because us
was
painting
not
the
fun.
bus was, like, a disaster the first time around. But then after seeing their paint job in real life, we are inspired to repaint Honey. The same color,
Same color, just different paint.
but
Please
different
do.
paint, you know? And then we'll do another video about it if we do that. So, Cody, and we all already know this answer, I feel like, so this is why it's going to be an easy one. But does Laura prefer boondocking or on-grid?
How do you spell grid?
Ready, reveal. Boondock.
Boondocking for life!
L-Y-F-E?
So,
yes, L-Y-F-E.
can you see? Faux life. Boondocking
I
for
don't
life.
mess around. What can I say?
Okay, well, thanks for playing that game, guys.
Oh, I loved it.
I would also like, as we kind of like wrap up the video, for somebody that's looking at traveling, doing bus life,
Yeah.
converting a bus, like what's a tip or something
Some
you'd
advice.
encourage them?
Yeah.
I would say expectation setting is probably across the board one of the most important things. We
That's
didn't
good.
do that well, full disclosure. We didn't do it very well. I had probably unreal expectations of what Cody could build in a school bus, and I think he did great. I mean, he obviously did great. I love our home, but I was thinking it like a house. Like,
Yeah.
so I think when you know kind of your skill level, you know your bus situation, your RV situation, whatever you
Yeah.
live in,
Yep.
having the right expectations is good. And then once you get on the bus, it's kind of the same thing. Like,
Not everything's,
you know,
yeah.
we still watch Netflix at night. We had a little bit of an expectation like, oh, we're going to hike every day. We're going to be in these beautiful places all the time. And we aren't. We are sometimes, but not
Yeah.
always. And I think setting, calibrating a little bit is
Uh-huh.
is going to make that transition way easier, and it just, easier. And
Not
probably
every
better.
parking lot has a beautiful lake to watch.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's right.
Yeah, this is a once in a lifetime for sure.
I feel like that's good even from us. Like, when we started bus life and for Spotter Bus, for us, we were definitely thinking like, oh yeah, people do it in a few months. Like, what could be the difference? And then realizing everyone's situation is so different.
That's right.
Everyone's work situation, budget,
Yeah.
experience, you name it. Everything is so custom, just like
Yeah.
every school is so custom. So I feel like
Yeah.
expectation setting, just because someone did their build in 4 years or someone did it in 6 weeks, doesn't mean that's going to be an expectation you can have for yourself, you know?
And-
I agree.
Yeah.
And the other thing I would say is that if you want to do something, you can do it. Sometimes the people that get the most exposure are the people that had some handy help or some really good tradespeople involved, or they are a tradesperson,
Yeah.
so it looks perfect. And, we had a plumber help us, and
Yeah.
Laura's dad was a diesel mechanic by trade, and so
Shout
we
out
got
to
some
Dad.
help. Yeah. And I think sometimes it's like, because we ran into this, we're like, oh, look at that, we could never
Yeah.
build that. But then you meet people that are like artists or this or that have
Yeah,
never
yeah,
built
yeah.
anything and do it. So you can do it.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's so good. And I think as well, like what you said, Cody, like there's different people have different skill sets, but then also the beautiful thing about this community is once you kind of engulf yourself into this community, there's people that know the answers. Like, I mean, we're asking you
Yeah.
experience on the road. You got other people, like, we just had Will from Number One Bus come out. He's done electrical before. I've never done that type of
Right.
stuff. Like, there's people out there that even if, like, you could say, well, I've never built anything, I've never done this, I've never done that,
Yep.
you can find it out along the way, and people
right.
are willing to help with that.
That's right.
So, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you loved hearing Laura and Cody's experience from first year on the road and Raleigh's experience from first year on the road. We're going to be on, she's like, woo! We're going to be over on their channel later, so definitely make sure you're subscribed and watching, ready for our turn to answer some juicy questions. I don't know if they're juicy. They're bus questions, probably. Yeah, the juiciest. But we will be back next week, and we'll see you guys later.
Are we cheersing the camera or cheersing each other?
Kind of cheersing towards the camera. Ready?
Oh.
Woo!
Yeah.
No.
Oh, through the
No,
camera.
no, no. Like, two.